There we are. Let's see, did the auto description pop in? Yep, it did. Excellent. Excellent. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. I've got some shipping to do this morning. Got a few pieces headed out. So, yep, you are on. Good morning. Welcome. Let's see, where are you headed out? California. Okay. So we'll talk about slides, guns, 2A, how we make these. Whatever questions you feel like asking. All while we get our shipping and our morning tea. Still following California closely. They've got a lot of anti-2A bills, some of which might affect us. So we need to pay attention to those. One turns barrels, such as this here, into a background check item. Another outright bans Glocks for future sales from FFLs. One wants Californians to have on their slide or on the firing pin a micro stamp on the breech face that somehow stamps brass shell casings as they expend from the firearm. And then, of course, they're proposing an amendment to the Constitution, which, that won't pass. They won't get 37 states for that. But it just shows how much they're willing to do. Which, of course, there is already a run on Glock parts, slides, firearms, before any bill goes into law. So, yep, definitely something to watch, definitely something to pay attention to. I'm still waiting on Michigan to update whether or not they are proceeding with their color ban. Which, would ban things like this habanero red or this tiger stripe camo. Or this Arctic white back over here. But thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, where 2A is the way. We turn bars of steel like this into the slides you see before you. Let's see, where are you headed? Missouri. Sending one off to Missouri this morning. All right. Hey, thank you for that like. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for joining us this morning. Nothing too fancy today. We're just getting some slides shipped out. But feel free to ask any questions, comment on what you see. That's quite all right with me. There we got some bubble wrap. The end product, after we're done packaging things up, tends to look like this. Plastic casing, slide wrapped in bubble wrap. Vector, what's going on, man? Not too bad. Just another morning, getting things ready. Have a whole day ahead of us. I might need more wrapping than this one. That's a shame. Thought I had the perfect size. But maybe if I fold it this way. So how's everybody doing this morning? Getting your two-way on? Nope, we're just going to have to go cut off a longer strip. This bubble wrap is not going to do it. Thought it was. That's There we are. This should do it. Oh, we're wrapping up a slide, kind of like this one. Sending this particular one off to Missouri. Yep, we mail them out all across the U.S. Including some of the territories. Including taxes or Texas? Because definitely Texas. Also Washington, California, New Jersey, Illinois, New York, Maryland. All the fun ones. Oh yeah, feel free to check out the website, stifflermanufacturing.com. We do things for the Glock 19 and the Glock 17, and we are working on the Glock 43 and the 26. I don't know, maybe the 48. 48's always a possibility. Now, is this feasible to fit in here? I don't think it is. I mean, it's technically possible. It's probably going to rip. Yeah, that's probably a no-go. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Almost. Hey, Rebel Spirit, what's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I guess we're not going to use one for that. That's okay. Now, will this fit in the way I like it? That's the big question. It'll fit in this way, but that might just be a little too wide. So about any of y'all, any crazy anti-gun stuff going on in your states? We're in Arizona, so we're good for the moment. Yep, based in Tucson, Arizona. We've been doing this since January of 2023. There we go. Make sure the shipping label matches the packing slip. And into the packing you go. And time to seal. Excellent. That did not do too bad. Hey, thank you for the like. Greatly appreciate it. Rebel says, Missouri is locked with gun rights, luckily. Big shout out to Kansas City, past 48 hours. Looks too big to be gang shit, but that's what PD is saying. What's going on in Kansas City? Been busy at work. Don't always get to see what's going on in the news super quickly. Oh, shootout. Oh, shootout, not shout out. Oh, man. With our little fragile sticker. If you get that joke, congratulations. We're all probably old. Or we've all been watching the same Christmas movie every year. There we are. Now it's time for the next one. This one's going off to California. One of us. One of us. Yep, gotta remind people of their age sometimes. It's unfortunate. Which is why we're all big into health right now. I have cut, despite our, social media presence, I've cut caffeine out of my life. Well, besides tea. I have dropped the sugar and salt intake quite heavily. Yep. And of course, I have to remind everyone every day to drink water, because how are you going to move and groove, react to contact, engage the enemy, break their stuff, and be a sexual Tyrannosaurus like Stiffler if you're not hydrated? Be hydrated, everybody. Drink water. True enough, but I've seen the state of California, and Germany was probably wrong on that one. Papa's Pew Pews, how you doing? Sending one out to Texas. All right, let's get that one packed up too. You know, we sent one out to Guam the other day, and that was pretty cool. Don't get orders from Guam too often. Actually, I'd say a lot of people forget that we have territories. Guam, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Northern Mariana Islands. Remove the rifling from the barrel. Well, that's what the... This actually, funny enough, this is one of our older whites, and you can see by the reflective finish. But this is called Stormtrooper White. Now, of course, we've since swapped to Arctic White, which is a bit more of a matte white. But concept is the same. People build Stormtrooper-looking builds out of them. Black frame, black feet, furniture. It looks pretty good, honestly. Hey, good morning, Nick. Welcome to the chat. Unfortunately, we can't because we do not have any ITAR certifications, licenses, etc. through the U.S. Department of State. Yep, shipping of firearms parts and accessories is controlled by them when it comes to any sort of overseas shipping. So we can ship to any state, we can ship to any U.S. territory, but once we ship to another country, we've got to comply with ITAR regulations. Which I don't know if we'll ever do. Shipping overseas does come with its own hassles. Ordinary, what's going on? They can own some firearms in some minor capacities, but it's nowhere near the U.S. I served alongside some British troops a while back, and they told me of family members and stuff who were allowed to have rifles and shotguns. I don't know about pistols, but rifles and shotguns they were allowed to have. But it's incredibly regulated. Like, to an insane degree. Though, funny enough, a lot of European countries allow suppressors where the U.S. heavily regulates suppressors. So I find that kind of amusing. And they do it as a hearing safety measure. Which is the same thing we've been trying to get passed with the Shush Act. But, well, we saw what Congress did with that. Remember, whether they're red or they're blue, they actually don't want you to be all armed up. They just go about it in different ways. Like, you remember when the NRA wasn't really doing anything and they lost a lot of members because they weren't really doing anything? Or do you remember when the NRA supported some anti-gun laws? I do. I used to be a golden eagle of the NRA. I am not. Now I'm a life member of the GOA, Firearms Policy Coalition. I'm Arizona Citizens Defense League. Other organizations. Let's see. Oh, I missed some here. Nick says, we have firearm certificates, but I'm talking about illegal ownership, but we can up to 50 BMG under the right certificates. Oh, okay. You can own pistols under the firearm certificate, but it has to be a 16-inch, oh my god, 16-inch barrel? 16, wow. Only good thing about UK is the fact cans are like any other aftermarket part. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, cans are like aftermarket parts. I don't know. I'd dig an old cowboy, just to have it. An old cowboy gun with a 16-inch barrel. That'd be wild. Because, I mean, the one I have here, I mean, it's a standard 45 long Colt. 4¼ inch, 4½ inch. Either way. Oh, you've got your instructor license through the NRA? I mean, it's still useful for some stuff. I just haven't been a paying member in several years, and it's because of how I saw they weren't doing enough. All right, so let's see. We've got Missouri, California, Texas again, and another package here for Illinois. Gotta send those slides off. But for those of you just joining us, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. We return bars of 17.4 stainless steel, like this one here, into the slides you see before you. We do all of our own milling, we do all of our own Cerakote work, all here in Arizona. And to remind you that we're all becoming old men now, my morning beverage of choice is green tea with turmeric and cinnamon. Yep, let that sink in. Ordinary says he supports the FPC. They actually work to overturn gun laws. Absolutely. Yep. I am still a card-carrying member, back when they were giving out cards. Actually, they might still give out cards. I don't know. Oh, right, here's my 2024 GOA membership. Not showing that one off on the front anyway. Hey, the library card. Everybody go to your local library. Support it. They get funds based on members that they have and visits. You know what you might be able to do? Well, actually, since you're already doing some of your own painting, a good start into getting into Cerakote Rebel is, and for any of you listening, is go on Craigslist or something similar. Oh, let's turn that off. I just realized my optic laser was on. Red dot was on. Go to Craigslist. Get an oven that nobody cares about. Make sure the oven can get to temperature. You're looking for at least 250 degrees. Okay, but preferably they can still go to the traditional 550, but at least 250. And then you can set up an outside or shed-based Cerakote workshop. And you'll be good enough. It won't be, an industrial size oven, obviously, but you'll be able to do your own Cerakote work at home as long as you get an air compressor, you get a hose, you get the spray gun, you get your hopper, your filters, all of which you can order from Cerakote directly. You get your oven, And bear in mind, you are never going to use this oven for cooking ever again. But you can set up an indoor or outdoor Cerakote shop. And make sure you get some good painting masks, too, because you should not be breathing in Cerakote. But yeah, you can learn how to do it yourself, do all your own custom work, do stuff like this, the stencils, the camos. You just got to get Cerakote grade, oven grade stencils, which we get ours through Tactical Penguin. You can do it yourself. Yeah, exactly. Carcinogens don't taste too well. They're a little spicy. Nick says, if you bought a Colt M4 over here on the streets, you'd pay about 40,000 pounds. Holy crap. The last Colt M4 I owned was the Law Enforcement Edition, and it was around like 900 bucks. No, way too much. 600 bucks. So I think I got it for like 650 after taxes and whatever. And I walked out with it the same day. Because Arizona, baby. Shit, L, what's going on, man? Stiffler in the morning. Oh, man, that's what I should start calling my morning lives. Stiffler in the morning. Sounds about right for a black market firearm. Yeah. I mean, you can use the oven for... Yeah, oh yeah, I already did that one. Just need the space. Used my kitchen oven once. Well, let's just say that won't happen again. Absolutely. Do not use anything you're intending to cook with in the future for your Cerakote oven. Now, the reason I say 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and whatever the hell that is in Celsius, is because this is H-Series Cerakote, which will cure at 200 to 250. F-Series will also cure in that temperature range. FX Series will cure in that temperature range. And what will not is E-Series. E-Series needs 500 degrees. And then C-Series, what you need is a clean room. Okay, so what you could do for a clean room, a simulated one, is after you're done painting, you could take an old mini fridge and convert it to hold, like inside with racks. And as long as it's got a good seal on it and it's clean, you could then transfer whatever it is you're Cerakoting into that fridge. It doesn't need to be plugged in or anything. You just need a portable, sealable space to keep dust and other particulate out. Because C-Series is an air dry Cerakote, not an oven cure Cerakote, and it needs up to 3 days to properly cure. So you want it in a clean space so that nothing sticks to it while it's drying. And we thought about doing that for C-Series, but we realized we'd have to charge more just because of the delay in production. Because think about that, is you paint the slide, then you've got to wait 3 days for it to be in a clean room, and then to check if it has any problems, that the Cerakote didn't cure properly. And then if it didn't, and it turns into a blemished slide, you've got to do it all over again. It's just too much time. Oh yeah, toaster oven would be great for just like individual slide work or framework. Yeah, that'd be great. Johnny Propane, what's going on, man? I just realized why it's getting so warm in here in the morning. The sun's already rising up and I don't have any fans on. There we are. Yep, gets nice and hot in Arizona. Sometimes at 10 a.m. it's already over 100 degrees. For our European brothers and sisters, that is 37 to 38 degrees Celsius at 10 a.m. Yeah, man. A toaster oven might be cool for individual work. I mean, we have an industrial oven, so we're good to go. But, you know, I don't think I've ever counted how many slides that we can actually fit in that oven. It's a lot. It's a lot of slides. We could easily fit 50 in there, no problem. But good morning. Those of you just joining us, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. We mill down bars of stainless steel, 17.4, into the slides you see before you. Do all of our own Cerakote work in-house. We wrap everything up into a nice little hard box. Everything gets shipped off in a polymer bag. Nice and safe. We work on the Glock 17 and the Glock 19. We're working on the 26 and the 43, trying to get those ready before year's end. We'll see what happens. Really trying to get that ready for the Californians who want to order stuff before their laws may go into effect. Sad to say, if some of those laws pass, we might just stop shipping to California. We've only ever halted shipping to one place, and it was American Samoa, where we never sold anything to, but we stopped shipping there completely because 9mm is illegal there. And while they are a U.S. territory, they're under the thought process that the Constitution does not apply to them because they are a territory, not a state. Now, while I disagree, we're not going to deal with the legal avenue of that. You know, if something happens, we're not going to even bother. Just because they're a territory doesn't mean they're not Americans, in my opinion. Puerto Ricans are Americans, you know. But that's the belief they're holding to. So, we're not going to bother with that one. It's too restrictive for us to try and bother shipping things there. But all the other states, perfectly good. There's no laws that restrict us, so good to go. Tactical Moose, G19 Gen 3 slide, still holding strong after a year and many rounds. Heck yeah! Which one did you get, man? I'm running around with the Turbo most days. That'd be this center one here, SM19 Turbo. When I'm not running around with the Turbo, it's usually the Hellet. This one right over here. Bill Poole, what's going on? Welcome to Stiffler in the Morning. Just chatting about slides. We got some shipping done already. Getting things handled before we go off to work today. get some water. Tasty water. All right, back in action. Let's see here. Tactical moves. I got the one with the front serrations, RMR cut, and port cuts. Maybe not these. From a year ago, maybe? So maybe one of our old flash slides, possibly. Or maybe the Viper. This one's got a couple front grip serrations and then the triple porting. Bill Pool almost missed the coin in the back. Oh, right. Yep, we occasionally put little poker chip type coins in the slides that people order. Oh, the Leonidas, yeah. Oh, who do we have here? Jeremy? Do you do a G48 slide? No, not yet. We are working on the 43. We might do the 48 in the future. There we go. Leonidas slide. Oh, no porting. Okay, so smooth top front grip serrations, RMR cut. Yep. SM19 zoom. EDC, what's going on, man? Just doing my morning live. Got some slides ready. They're all ready to ship out. Where are we shipping those out? California, Texas, and Illinois. If you are looking to order, Jeremy, you can always check out our website. We make 19s and 17s, and we're working on the 43 and the 26. We're getting there. How's the progress going on the 43? A little slower than the 26. The 26 easier to work on. Tactical Tacos asks if we have any Gen 5 Glock 17 slides. No, we only have Gen 3 17s, but you can fit a Gen 3 on a Gen 5 by changing out a few parts. And there's instructions on how to do that. You can find that on various sites, YouTube videos, etc. But yep, you can swap generations. Glock is like Legos. Totally doable, totally easy. I think my favorite, someone took one of our Gen 3 19s and put it on the Gen 5 45. They took it to the range and ran it, and it ran just fine. Same thing for the Gen 3 19. You can fit it on the 19X. You just got to change out a part or two. Bill Poole says, how long does the finish last? Like, can the Cerakote take a beating? This is the first one I've purchased. Yes, it can. So this one here, as you can see at the bottom, we've put 1,500 rounds through this. Ported and non-ported. That said, we haven't really tested it for holster wear. So if you're drawing all the time, I imagine it is going to wear. This might help a little better. This is one of our white slides, and we have taken this to the range. You are going to see some interior wear when shooting, especially with porting. But the exterior still looks really good. Oh, the Tiger Stripe? Yep, we use Hunter Orange and Graphite Black. Stencils are courtesy of Tactical Penguin. I'm sure we're going to get some Bengals fans out there. Maybe somebody wants to do a Frosted Flakes build someday. Jokes. Huh. How many sales do we have during the year? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I do, but it's like, it's on our metrics. And I can go look it up. I mean, since January, we've made like 8,000 slides. So. That slide is great. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what we're going to hit come January. Because each January, we look at how many slides we've made. January 2025, we had made 20,000 slides. So now we're around 28,000, I think. I'd have to go check the numbers. But yeah, we'll probably do the Glock 48 after we do the 43, possibly. I won't promise it, but it's a good chance. If we don't, though, you know, you'll see. We might move on just to Gen 5s. Which, I mean, there are some differences. I don't have my Gen 5 slide on me. But you are going to get this cut on both sides. There is a difference in the safety plunger hole. What else is there? There's a post difference along here. I wish I had both for a side-by-side. But the Gen 5's at the shop right now. I do need to try and go to the range today, but we'll see what happens. Oh, I see. I see what you mean, Omar. So pretty much around almost every holiday. So for example, Labor Day, we got one coming up from September 1st to the 7th. The next sale will be in October. We'll have Glocktober going on. Probably not doing anything for... probably not doing anything for Black Friday or Thanksgiving or Christmas. But we'll probably do something for New Year's. Then let's see. We usually do something for Valentine's Day. We usually do something for St. Patrick's. We might do something for Veterans Day. I'm not sure. 4th of July, we usually have a sale. And then I think there's like a military appreciation week we do a sale for. I forget. Gen 5 17 soon? No, I couldn't promise anything for Gen 5 at least until 2026. But upside is you can fit the Gen 3s on the Gen 5 frames. Oh, it's going to be a long morning. There we go. Is it hard to match your Cerakote colors? I'm debating on painting the magwell. No, not hard at all, because if you look at our website, the numbers we use and the names we use are the same exact for every single one. Well, except Jesse James Green, because technically it's Jesse James Eastern Front Green, but that's a really long name. So let's see, we'll roll to the website. Let's say pull up SM17. Let's pull up this bright purple. So SM17 Viper bright purple. Then if you look at the SKU, it's VP17, so Viper 17, H for H series, 217, is the number of the Cerakote. So, H217 bright purple. So you can go on to Cerakote's website and look up bright purple Cerakote, and you'd find that color, and it'd help you color match. Or same thing here for like Hunter Orange. Hunter Orange is the Cerakote we use. You look at the SKU H128. So Hunter Orange H series 128. Yep, we didn't want to change the names unless we were forced to, which we were on eBay. For example, we couldn't call our Sniper Gray Sniper Gray. So we had, funny enough, we were allowed to call it Gunmetal Gray, but we couldn't call it Sniper Gray. Or same thing, we had Bazooka Pink at one point. We had to call it Bubblegum Pink, because that was the closest color we could find that was similar, and eBay wouldn't let us list certain words. So aggravating. Just like if you want threaded barrels, you can't get those on eBay. You have to go to a website. eBay does not allow you to sell threaded barrels. Which is probably because of the 9 states and DC that have gotten rid of threaded barrels. Well, not gotten rid of. They've made it an issue, some sort of against the law, to build with threaded barrels. You can still own them. Just they have issues with building with them. Each state's a little different on that. Let's see if we can send some offers out and see if we can get one more sale before I have to leave today. If not, oh well. There we go. Sent those off. Too easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I definitely want to get some range time in today. And so I'm hoping that'll happen. We'll see. I got screwed out of it yesterday because adults can't adult. But we'll see what happens to that. Okay, let's do some final checks here. We got this, we got that. Those are all wrapped up. Those are ready to go. Let's do a quick little refresh on here. Hey, right on. We hit 1,120 on the subs. Thank you so much. We are still doing our 1K giveaway. We're just ran into a few issues. So we are going to try and plan that out a little better. And we still have to make the slide. But it is going to be a Viper slide. It is going to be an SM19. We will be doing that 1K giveaway. Well, we've hit our hour for the morning, so that's where I'm going to cut it. Thank you all for checking out Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn steel bars into slides, where we do all of our own Cerakote work. Check out our website sometime. Hey, G23 coming in at the tail end. What's going on, brother? We've got our Labor Day sale coming up from September 1st to the 7th. You can see the details on our site. Right on, Johnny Propane. Right on, man. You have a good one at the range. Glocktober coming up. We are working on the Glock 26 and the 43. So keep an eye out for that. Check out our social media if you want to stay up to date. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Got a whole list. But thank you all for liking, subscribing, and helping us out with those watch hours. Thank you for this morning. And as always, stay 2A every day. Oh, right on, G23. Check out his live on Rumble.